Hi guys, it's Mishi. I am back to do part two of our reading for June 18th. It was very powerful. It really struck me deep in my soul. So I, in meditation, pulled out the cards that I spoke to you about, the Angel Tarot cards by Radley Valentine. And I also drew an additional card from Luddy Lescott Tarot. And so now we're going to go over these cards and that was added to our original reading. If you remember the reading before this and it is now published, it is actually, are you ready for the future is basically here. We're ready for the future. We talked about the unicorn card actually started off our intent for that reading. And in understanding what has transpired in the energies over the last week, moving us in today, I have now expanded this reading. It was due to the sequence of numbers, which we'll get to that in a moment. But for now, we'll recap. Earlier, we had the mystical shaman, and I've laid these cards out because I'm hoping that you can see. I'm not going to recap the reading from before because this is a continuation. So we're just going to pick up from the ancient ones, the drum, the eagle, fire, Pachamama, and the heart of the star, of the sky. The next card I talked about, I had some cards that included these powerful unicorns that came from the Angel Tarot deck. And the first card that popped out in my meditation was actually the very powerful Archangel Michael. So Michael is telling us that organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. He's actually helping us now that we have arrived to a higher energy, a higher plane, a higher existence. Now, how do we manifest? So that was the leftover question. We were talking about now is the time to manifest, to actually reach our desires, but how do we get there? So that was the intent of this extended reading. So the next card came out was the Eight of Air. And there it was. Guys, do you see those unicorns? 8 of them. Air, we had the card, the heart of the sky. And the heart of the sky reaches us up to the moon, the universe, and beyond. And this card is saying an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. So we now have the awakening of our spiritual connection, as above, so below. But we are now afraid to forge forward in the direction of where we're going and what we are being shown and told that our next step is actually to forge ahead. And 8 stands for advancement. So we can't be afraid because when we have the power of the Emperor, Archangel Michael, and the son of the Archangel Uriel, we're being told that all you have to do is release all doubt. I'm just, and the card is bringing us back to that one. It's happening now, guys. There's no next year, it's now. And we have reached a halfway point. So now it's time to focus on let's get it done. And in the traditional tarot cards, the eighth card in the major archetype arcana is the strength card. It's the sun. It's Archangel Uriel saying happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. These are the actions we now need to take. How do we get there? How do we manifest our desires? Confidence. The next card that came out was the Three of Fire. And the fire was, again, we're clarifying our reading and where we are in these energies. And fire says abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time. Make long-term plans. Go ahead and make those plans. Go ahead and believe that what is about to happen is happening. It's coming. And making plans with the Three of Fire means creativity. It goes back to that unicorn and his magic and him allowing us, helping us to tap into our spiritual, our creative eye, our third eye, our intuition. And again, the only way to really, really grasp it is to sit in meditation. Just sit. Just sit with yourself and dream. When things come up about your daily chores, family obligations, work obligations, dishes, laundry, any of those things, toss them out, let them come in, toss them out. Remember, one of the videos I talked about a way of breathing in meditation. So when you're breathing in meditation, you are breathing through the nose and out through the mouth. And when you're coming out through the mouth, it's the sound of fogging a mirror, like, and then once you have mastered being able to breathe the fog out, breathe the fog without opening your mouth. And it's like the ocean is being in the flow. You go out with the waves and bring back in the waves and drop it all the way down to your solar plexus. And you just let it go past the lungs, over the solar plexus, down into the root chakra. And let it sit there for a count of 3. Bring it back up, out over the lungs, over the sacral, over the throat chakra, out through the nose again. And fog the mirror with your mouth closed. The secret to that breathing technique is that you're able to control your thinking. You're focusing on your breathing. And when you can learn to stop at the top, that little tiny space at the top of your breathing between the in breath and the out breath, the in and out, is that little space where you will find magic. That's that little secret, that little space where air of divinity can flow through and speak to you personally. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very, very important time coming up in the next 30 days, moving into the end of 2019. Get on board with these energies if you want to live freely, if you want to fly high, if you want to find soul what it means to live from the soul. Gemini is still upon us. And I pulled a card from the classic tarot deck called Ludi's Tarot, Ludi Lescott's Tarot. This card is taking us into the deep roots of the earth. In this deck, this card stands for the lovers. And Gemini, this month of reading, the last two readings we read was very prominent, was those twins. And the energy of these twins, we're not going to just, and I called that video Gemini because it really was bringing out these energies for all of us of the lovers. I talked about that fire, that passion, those twin flames, those soul partners, those family soul partners. Twin flames are the twins that are represented in the sign of Gemini. So of course it would show up now. And this card represents a 6. We talked about perseverance. That's what Gemini, the halfway point of the month, is telling us. Perseverance. In this card of the lovers, this card signifies that fire of passion. And passion is only born of blood. It is kindness. When it's kindness, it is born from the soul. When it's not kindness, it is love. Because love is cruel. But if it's authentic love, you will not be able to escape it. And that's where a lot of us are right now. That's what a lot of us have been putting out for intent, is to find that soul connection on this earth, on this plane. Having that soul connection is confusing. Having that soulmate lovers card appear, that means that we are rebirthing, we are starting again with the energies of Adam and Eve, Shiva and Shakti. We saw Shakti this month in many different versions. We saw Mother Gaia. We saw Mother Pachamama. It is all born out of the desire to connect with love. And love is androgynous. When I say androgynous, I just got it. I have to catch my breath, because when we're talking about an androgynous love, we're talking about a love that is masculine and feminine, yin and yang. You've seen the sign, black and white, and how they merge into one. Adam and Eve were both masculine and feminine because they were of one. So in the book of creation, when it talks about Adam and Eve, it talks about Eve was born or created from himself, the image, and the image was Adam. So in mystical divination history, they were the first lovers. And when you're talking about tarot, the power of tarot, Adam is the magician. He created. He created alchemy. He created Eve. And then Eve became and manifest as the high priestess. And those two are the principle of one of self-fertilization, the God split, so to say, himself, the masculine and female halves. They were the male and female figures that was created in spirit in the Garden of Eden. We are now in a time where the Garden of Eden is being revisited globally. And when you look amongst what's happening around us on this earth, it cannot be ignored, even if you try. That's why the desire for so many right now is to find love, is to come together in unity and have sincere, loving, honest, intimate, romantic relationships. But the key to it is communication. And so that is the key, is communication. So it's like the secret, the key. I had a key in one of the readings. And the key was communication. The key is the conclusion. And so in order to be balanced and return to good health and have actual soulmate partnership dreams, love, manifest desires of all of us lives, is we really have to be honest in our communication. We have to look in the smoky mirror. We have to go to those ancient ones. We have to dream and drum our own beat. Figure out our own sound. Get into the vibrations of this universe. And so, talking about the vibrations of the universe and this earth, that brings me to these master numbers. I said I needed a few days. I don't need a few days because it's right here in these cards. When I did an addition clarification on the cards that came up today, I thought we had every week, it was like these cards are powerful. But this week, the halfway mark of the year, is the most powerful reading. And from now on, I believe we're going to be focusing on how to manifest. Now we know what we need to do to get in the vibration of manifesting abundance and understanding our desires and our dreams. Now it's time to learn to manifest. And the way we do it is, if you notice, you've been seeing numbers such as 11, and I've been speaking in mathematical, all things go back to math. So when we look at history, we listen to Einstein's relative theories, when we listen to whether it's Newton or Socrates, it all goes back to numbers. And so the numbers is how spirit communicates with us. The master number of 11 means you're seeing that number everywhere you go. It's on license plates, signs, and it just starts off with the number 11. And then all of a sudden you start seeing 111. Then it takes on a new life when it hits 1111. And these numbers will start to increase synchronicity in your life. That's how you know coincidences, but coincidence is a very light word. Synchronicity was coined by Carl Jung. And in understanding the word synchronicity, that's a whole nother understanding. You are welcome to do the research yourself, but it's here. These are hidden messages. They're like codes. It's like the code, it's the key to math and science. That's what neurology and tarot is all about. It's pure energy. It's understanding the pureness of this energy and how we are conduits. You know, it's like when you're in the flow, when you're in the spiritual realm of vibration, you're going to see, you know, some call these angel numbers, but they're powerful, powerful messages. Like the computer, the zeros and ones, you know, the language of the computer. When mathematicians and computer scientists was able to understand the language that the computer was speaking to us, that's where your Microsoft and Apple technologies were birthed. That's how the geniuses that we see today in our lifetime, from, you know, Steve Jobs or Bill Gates or, you know, Facebook, Google, you know, all the technologies we're looking at today are speaking that one universal language. And when Tesla spoke of 369, if you understand 369, the powerful meaning of 369 is the key to the universe, that is where Elon Musk has become the genius of this millennium. So I'm going to tell you right now the secret of these sacred numbers, these repeating sequences. And they can go to like 1212, 911, 4411. You know, we all know 411 is an emergency. It's actually catching your attention and saying that you are being drawn into the Matrix, the movie The Matrix. So it's like when you're drawn into the Matrix, you're actually tapping into the divine source. And so at that time, it's telling you that you're on a path. You're on the correct path, or you're beginning a path to awakening. And with this unicorn and this intent with the third eye coming up, with our reading this time, we actually are now standing at the gateway. We're at the portal of a whole new beginning. 11, 111, 1111 is the awakening sign, the message of human consciousness. And November 11th, when everyone was like, November 11th, 2011, how powerful it was. It truly was a very powerful moment. Or when we came into the new, when we left 1999 to 2000, when we left 2010 to 2011, all of these were significant dates. And even in history, you have like the Mayan calendar. All these calendars were telling us, you know, something was going to happen. It happened. We are now all making a huge leap, or like a springboard, into human consciousness. It's here. And it's like catching the wave. It's like being a part of the next millennium of generation. It's like being a part of the next big thing. It's like being a part of hitting the lottery. It's like it's equating to, and everyone is not going to come along. So those of you who are in conscious flow, who are in vibration, who are paying attention, who are keeping up. This is the time, this year. We have 6 more months upon us to make it happen. So it will make you feel as though you've grasped the golden key. You've opened the door to your destiny. Your human conscious, your freedom, your peace, your joy, your love, it's all here. And it's going to happen if it's going to happen over the next 6 months. So I will continue to talk about the power of these mystical, magical numbers, but we're going to end right now in the ones. If you are seeing these repeating numbers, I will cover the numbers that you tell me you're seeing. And I will go into more depth. I will try to help you. We will do a reading. I will try to help the collective of us understand what's happening and how to make your manifestations, your abundance, your health, your wealth, your happiness, your joy, and all of the above for those that you love around you, because they're going to actually be pinching off of your joy. But it's only for you to really know the bliss. So I look forward to hearing from you. Ask me, tell me what numbers you're seeing, and we will go from there. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And until the next time we meet, ladies and gentlemen, be blessed. Namaste.